Hello, and welcome to another reaction to Have I Got News for You. So, earlier today, in the first episode that I did of today, I mentioned that Charlie Brooker was going to be hosting an episode. Since I've recorded that episode has since come out and been uploaded to YouTube. I'm recording this a few days after I recorded the initial reaction that was released today, so I figured, why not do it? So, yeah, we're going to do Have I Got News for You, recent episode. When this is being released, it's probably been out for about 5 days, hosted by Charlie Brooker. Alright. This may be the newest thing I've ever reacted to. In terms of, release date. Oh god, it's so dark. Oh, there we
go. Good evening. Good evening and welcome to Have I Got News
still looks
for You.
Exactly
I'm
the same.
Charlie Brooker. In the news this week, with the SNP in crisis,
newly
elected leader Humza Yousaf arrives at Holyrood eager to show he's a safe pair of hands.
Oh shit. Oh!
In Westminster, a shaken Larry the Cat leaves Downing Street for mental health reasons after being repeatedly shouted at over the quality of his work. And at an adult education centre in Kettering, there are celebrations as the weakest student in the woodworking class finally passes his first module.
Hey!
On Ian's team tonight is a Sunday Times journalist and broadcaster who worked as a special advisor to Theresa May in 2019.
Oh, wow.
That special advice presumably being quit. Please welcome Charlotte Ivers. And on Paul's team tonight is a comedian who recently discovered he's descended from 16th century Belgian immigrants. So if Suella Braverman's watching, he could soon be on a one-way flight to Rwanda. Please welcome Miles Jupp. We begin, as ever, with the bigger news stories of the week. Ian and Charlotte, have a look at this.
Yeah, go on. Imagine it's an old bloke with a beard. Jeremy. And that's the Attack advert.
The one everyone's very angry about, so they keep telling you how angry they are and showing you it again and again.
Do you think it's working, then?
Well, we're talking about it, and we've been talking about it for days now, so yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think saying he's a pedo is a bit much. I may have got the actual gist of it wrong.
Should we chat with some lawyers? Keir Starmer's a lawyer. He would know, so, he wouldn't put out something that wasn't true, I don't think.
No.
Do you want to see the ad in question?
Yes, please.
Can we have a quick look at it? You know what I think is really remarkable about that?
Yes.
He signed it.
Talking about himself in the third person.
That's not one of the accusations they put on the poster, though, is it?
I'm not saying it's as bad.
How has Keir Starmer responded to criticism?
Doubled down, basically, hasn't he?
Yeah, he said you're a pedo.
A double pedo.
They're not actually calling him a pedo, are they? Have I misread this?
Ian's calling him a pedo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just want to be clear,
Yeah,
Ian is taking that
just
one for
Ian.
both of us. Yeah.
I'm saying that the dog whistle approach of this advert is basically to say he's doing nothing about pedos, he's complicit in pedos. And it's exactly what Boris Johnson tried to accuse Keir Starmer of when everyone had a fit and said this is gutter politics. Do you remember he said, well, you didn't arrest Jimmy Savile?
Specifically what Keir Starmer said, he said, it's not about me, it's the way we conduct our politics. I don't want to see us go down the route this potentially takes us down.
Right.
That's what he said. And he's responded to the criticism, you're right, he says he stands by every word of it, and his team say they're delighted, claiming the adverts to be a huge success because everyone is talking about them.
But it's only a success if people agree with it. Just being aware of it doesn't make it a success, does it?
I know what you mean, because it's easy to get people talking about things. I once shat my pants in a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
People were really talking about it. Yeah.
I read in the Times yesterday saying that on Facebook, where people who actually vote go, it's all about bin collections, it's all about potholes and the stuff that actual local elections are about.
So on Facebook, are there adverts saying things like, do you think your bin should be collected more than once a fortnight?
Rishi Sunak doesn't. We should work for them.
That would be very effective, actually. It is infuriating. A big bin day every fortnight, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is kind of silly. Yeah,
At
anyway.
least they're taking away the bottles.
Labour old lags have complained about the campaign. Do you know which old lags in particular?
Did Tony Blair complain? He said, why can't you just bomb a foreign capital?
That's not what it says on my card.
Former Shadow Chancellor.
John McDonnell, yeah, he complained. But with all this pearl clutching, is this actually anything new?
Chancellor of the
It's
Shadow Realm.
newer. I mean, the Tories have been doing this for a very long time.
I don't know how far back you want to go. Here's a Conservative Party advert from 2010. Actually pretty similar.
Yep, very similar.
And the startling thing there is that that's the only known photograph of Gordon Brown smiling. Let's move to Scotland.
Yes, let's
move to
Oh, let's go.
Scotland's not going that badly.
Why is this big tent up in Nicola Sturgeon's garden?
She got 2 garden waste bins, is that
Oh, I think I know.
what this is about?
You've got 2 gardens.
Her husband got
I mean,
arrested,
it was
didn't
quite
he?
a big event
Didn't
in
he?
Scotland. I mean, the former First Minister's husband, who was the chief executive of the SNP, was arrested.
Yep, heard on this.
And the police swooped.
But it's missing 600 grand, isn't it?
Yeah, they raised 600 grand for a referendum campaign, and there wasn't a referendum, and then the money seems to have disappeared, and then Nicola
Magically.
Sturgeon's husband lent over 100,000 to his own party. And he said his wife didn't know, because they don't talk much.
Looks like they don't even share a recycling bin.
We should say Peter Murrell has been released without charge pending further investigation.
We should, but it'd be funnier not to.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, in Scotland, I mean, if there's a big loan crisis involving the leader, you know, something happens. In this country, you know, usually the bloke stays as chairman of the BBC, so...
He says while on the BBC.
Sorry, no, I'm just being told you're not even allowed to think.
We don't know what they're looking for, do we?
There is one thing we do know that they're looking into, that they found. Do you know what it is?
Motorhome.
And I think this is where they think some of this missing money may have gone.
That's right. Do you want to see the motorhome? Have a look.
Oh, well, you see, that's a motorhome and combined lorry. Which will save you a fortune on the fuel for the motorhome.
True.
Peter Murrell, he's not the only public figure to have had a tricky time of things recently. So shall we have a quick game, which we're calling Cuffed or Stuffed?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, what is the actual definition of cuffed and stuffed?
Does someone have to have been literally filled?
Yeah. With sweetmeat.
Define literally filled.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
please.
filled, literally.
That's what I meant.
Up to the eyeballs.
It's basically, have they been arrested or dropped in it?
Okay, right, fair enough.
So fingers on buzzers.
Yeah.
It's Matt Hancock.
It is Matt
That
Hancock. It is Matt Hancock. So cuffed or stuffed?
You saying stuffed?
I'm saying stuffed.
In what way has he been stuffed?
Almost every way you can imagine.
Judging by the expression on his face happening while that photo was taken.
You're right. He entrusted all his private WhatsApp messages to journalist Isabel Oakeshott. Why did he do that?
Because he's really stupid.
Yeah. That's a dumb thing to do.
Your Honour, we have no further.
Yeah.
You will accept that as an answer.
He handed them over to her to help her ghostwrite his pandemic diaries. She had signed a non-disclosure agreement. She passed the private messages to the Daily Telegraph. Matt Hancock actually called it a massive betrayal on a scale only his wife could understand.
Got him.
How did a lawyer who was asked to act on behalf of Matt Hancock embarrass himself on GB News?
This is so good.
Let's have a look.
Who was actually recently asked to act for Matt Hancock. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, I have to say that's disappointing because I made it absolutely clear to your programme. I asked them not to disclose that. and that is very, very poor journalism.
Yeah.
What good
we're not
does it
specifically
do?
talking about this. Can you? I've just been given the actual email that you sent to my producer, which they'd like me to read out. As a courtesy to the lady who approached me to act for MH, Matt Hancock, I would be grateful if it was mentioned that he asked me to act for him. So it seems that you actually...
That you're absolutely right, that it's my mistake, I missed out the knot. I take all of that back. My abject apologies.
What the fuck?
How does he find these people?
I know.
Charlotte, you've met Matt Hancock. Beneath that bumbling facade, what's the real idiot like?
It's so long ago and he won't remember it because I must have been like 21 or something.
He'll remember.
The thing is, I think he might. But so I went up to someone who was speaking to him, and you know, Matt, this is Charlotte. Charlotte, this is Matt. And I said, "Oh, hi, Matt. What do you do?" And he said, "I'm Matt Hancock." So I said, "Hi, Matt Hancock. What do you do?" And he looked at me like I had kicked a puppy in the head.
I should point out, obviously, we've been bashing the Tories a lot, and in the interest of balance, I've been given these special balancing cards.
Okay.
Post-Lineker, I have to say, Keir Starmer is a dot-eyed ponce.
God damn.
Anyway, back to the game.
Yeah, of course,
To the
yeah.
game.
Back to the game.
Capital stuff. Let's play capital stuff.
Capital stuff. Cuffed.
Technically, no.
Who's been cuffed? Who is he? Do you recognise
Who is
this
he?
man?
Oh, I don't know. Is it? Did he used to be on Rainbow? No. It's Donald Trump, who has been arrested in New York, and there's worse to come.
He was arrested over the hush money to the
Stormy
porn
Daniels.
star.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
sort of quite a nice contrast, isn't it? In the States, they have the porn star scandal, we have the camper van scandal. It's I sort of feel weirdly patriotic about this.
But what's technically the offence?
Oh, it's not an offence to pay somebody hush money, but to describe it as a business transaction was
Yeah.
the illegal part.
If she'd been, say, a pole dancer working in Britain,
Yeah.
Oh, Ian, what have you done?
How have Trump's supporters reacted to his arrest?
Not very well.
Do you want to see some of his
Yeah, why not?
supporters reacting?
No.
Let's take a look at them.
Yeah. That's an unfortunate thing, isn't it?
Very unusual thumbs up technique. Or maybe
People see Prince Charles going down the mall in his carriage, leaning out, going, "Whoa." Well, maybe we will. A new age for the monarchy. Oh, Banco. Who knows?
This is the story of the Labour attack ads.
Hang on,
aimed
that
at-
can't be right. We've just been looking at Donald Trump.
I know, I said this in the rehearsal.
Did you?
Yeah, it's a
There's
segue.
rehearsal.
Do you know what they said?
What?
They said it will feel weird now, but
Yeah.
it won't later.
Yeah. Last time I heard that was on my wedding night.
This is the story of the Labour attack ads aimed at Rishi Sunak, which have been accused of dragging UK politics all the way up into the gutter. Labour have said their attack adverts are going to continue. In fact, I've actually got a preview of some of the new ones here. Here we go. Do you think Suella Braverman is a psychopath? Rishi Sunak doesn't. Do you think it's embarrassing to ask your wife for pocket money? Rishi Sunak doesn't. And perhaps most startling, do you think 5'6" is too short to be Prime Minister? Rishi Sunak.
He's only 5'6". Wow.
Paul and Miles?
Yes.
Take a look at this.
Right. There we are, Prince Charles having a dance. This is the British eccentricity at its best.
Harry and Meghan in Toy Town.
That's it. A meaningless photo opportunity. There we are. Is it the preparations for the coronation?
It's the preparations for the coronation.
Yes.
The coronation
The
preparation.
plans have been unveiled. The coronation is going to be held on Saturday, May the 6th.
I want to see where they put Prince Harry.
Me too.
They say, yes, it's a restricted view, sir.
You'll be in Aberdeen.
There's various things they're doing to make this the most modern, archaic coronation of all time.
He's going to be a hologram.
Oh, there's an emoji.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the emoji?
Yeah,
Oh,
why
no.
these?
Ah,
Why is it shitting peas?
that's a good question.
There's something else that's very modern.
The coach has been air conditioned.
And there's a jacuzzi in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. He's arriving in a white limo.
Yeah.
With the girls.
Yeah.
In the middle of that.
Stretch limo, yeah.
Charles and Camilla are going to travel to the ceremony in this, the Diamond Jubilee State Coach.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
lord.
It's got electric windows,
Yeah.
shock absorbers and air conditioning. Sadly for Camilla, no ashtrays.
Yep. I bet it has. I bet you that orb opens up the top.
It also does contain bits of things important to Britain's heritage.
Is the gold stolen?
Oh, nice.
Inside the carriage
Yes.
are lots of items, including a fragment of the Mary Rose ship, a piece of Florence Nightingale's dress, a small piece of the royal box at Ascot, and apparently one of Sir Edmund Hillary's Everest ladders.
The
He
ladder's
didn't actually climb up the mountain, he climbed up a huge ladder.
Yeah, he cheated.
If there were whole things, it's just someone going around with scissors every time they see something vaguely historically important. Be like, yep, have that.
Yeah.
Put that in the coach. Put that in the coach.
Hello, Miss Nightingale.
As if they're creating a sort of mood board for their carriage. Getting a bit laddery, let's put a bit laddery.
It's not all just state-of-the-art comfort, because sadly,
Yes.
for Charles and Camilla, they will have to slum it on their return.
That's right.
To the palace. They have to go in this,
Right, it's
Oh my
horrible, isn't
God.
the
it?
gold state coach.
What's that guy up to at the front?
I don't know, is he interfering with a horse? Time to do it, actually, while everyone's focused on whoever's in the coach.
Well, rather
Whoever's
than
in
creep into
the
the
coach.
stables at night. Do it in front of a massive televised audience. Look back there, look back there.
They'll
What's
never
wrong with the gold
suspect
state
it.
coach?
It's very old and it's very bumpy.
That's right. The late Queen Elizabeth actually
It's-
described it as horrible.
It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Like the anus.
Well, that's exactly because it's got no suspension.
Do you know what Queen Victoria said about it? She actually complained of its distressing oscillations. She complained about them to start with, and then after a while she got into it. And
Yeah,
asked them
exactly,
to
yeah.
Go the long way round over the cobbles.
That's it, yeah.
I don't think Hugh Edwards is going to be reading all this out.
Imagine what it would be like if there were speed bumps up the mall. Oh, I bet they'd go round twice.
There is something modern about the anointing oil. Do you know
Yeah.
what that is?
Is it essential?
Ah,
Oh, is it made by Gwyneth Paltrow?
yes.
Does it smell of Gwyneth Paltrow?
Also, yes.
Actually excreted by... No. No, it's actually
God, she's weird.
vegan friendly. It will no
Gwyneth
longer
Paltrow does.
contain something called ambergris,
Yes.
which is extracted
Whales.
from whale intestines. That's right. No
Poor
surprise,
whales.
Charles is protective of whales. He used to be their prince.
Look at him.
Do you know what
Round
else?
of applause for an added H.
It doesn't contain civet oil, which it used to. Do you know how they get civet oil?
That's
Squeeze a
some-
civet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do, you squeeze it. Do you know exactly how
Between
you...
two table tennis bats. And you've got a jar just there.
Apparently, you have to squeeze its anal glands.
But you have to take it out to dinner first.
Yeah.
Finally, do you want to see an official coronation mural commissioned by Northampton Town Council?
Oh, I bet it's
Sure.
a cracker. Go on then.
Yep.
Do we still execute people for treason in this country.
This is the news that plans have been revealed for the coronation of King Charles III. Space in Westminster Abbey is very limited. Some guests are fuming because they've been told they're not allowed to bring a +1. In fact, on Harry's invite, that bit was underlined. Joe Biden won't be there either. Some have accused him of snubbing the royals, but in fact, Biden fondly remembers the last coronation back in 1953, which he attended as an old man.
Also, no U.S. president has never been invited to a
So we
coronation,
go to round two,
to
the
my
picture
knowledge.
spin quiz. Fingers on buzzers, everybody. Here we go.
Yeah.
Paul.
The performance of The Bodyguard, I think it might have been in Manchester, where they couldn't finish the show because some members of the audience got quite boisterous, who might have had a few to drink, who started singing, joining in, and they couldn't hear, the rest of the audience couldn't hear the performer on stage. And it's become a little bit of a common theme in musicals recently of audiences getting up and singing.
We can have a listen, see if you can pick out the untrained voices. I think that's somebody extracting oil from a civet.
Yeah. I think that is a civic.
It's a new theme, isn't it? I mean, audiences are not being content just to watch. They want to join in. And they've had trouble at the Globe.
When you say joining in at the Globe...
Yes, now is the winter of our discontent, great glorious summer, but it's down here.
Probably when a planet goes wrong, does so well.
This sort of thing has happened at that venue before, apparently. What had they done to try and stop incidents like this occurring?
Snipers?
Polite laminated notices.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yet it still goes on.
Those fuckers.
Where are we headed? Where are we headed?
It's the end of civilization.
I agree.
Rishi Sunak thinks you should sing.
What other grand romantic story has been cruelly cut short very recently?
Rupert Murdoch was engaged to be married, and he's not anymore.
That's right.
He said, I'm too young to settle down.
According to The Telegraph, the media tycoon was uneasy with his fiancée's evangelical views. Presumably, she'd asked him what he was most looking forward to about hell. Time now for the odd one out round, just one between you all this week. Your four are Rishi Sunak, Andy Burnham, former US President Ulysses S. Grant, and a gorilla on the M40.
Andy Burnham, he got done recently for speeding, 70 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. Rishi Sunak recently got fined, didn't he, for not wearing a seatbelt in the back of a car, so that links them too. I should imagine that the, what's the name of the gorilla?
His name is Gary.
Oh.
Gary. Just Gary.
I'm glad they put it up because I wouldn't have known what Gary looked like. As a word, it's not one I've ever come across before. Oh, there it is again. I'm going to make a note of this. This is worth knowing, that. Very much as it sounds. Ulysses S. Grant probably went too fast at a stagecoach or something
Paul's
like
on
that.
fire today.
So I think Gary the Gorilla's the odd one out because he was placed on the side of a motorway, but he wasn't actually in a vehicle when he committed an offence.
You're basically right.
Then basically give me the point.
They've all been fined for motoring offences.
Yeah.
Apart from Gary the gorilla,
Yeah.
You got away with it.
who was travelling along the M40 completely legally. Why did motorists contact the police when they saw Gary the gorilla?
Because
he
it's a
was
gorilla.
texting.
Well, I still can't get over the way that Gary's spelt.
According to the Daily Mail, the public have been on the lookout for a gorilla statue since one was stolen from a garden centre. Motorists on the M40 thought this could be him. Here is how he was seen on the M40.
Yeah.
But the police concluded it was a false sighting, adding that the statue spotted on the roads was actually Gary's brother. What was former US President Ulysses S. Grant's motoring offence back in 1872?
He honked even though he didn't bonk.
He was speeding in his horse and buggy. Was the crime. Rishi Sunak, what
Yes.
did he get a fine for?
Yeah, we're not wearing a seatbelt in the back of a car.
Let's take a look.
Hi, One of my New Year's promises to you was to grow the economy, and today we're announcing the second round of allocations from our Levelling Up Fund.
There's something about the angle he's at. He's sort of like you're getting a cab home from a bar and he's sort of leaning across to snog you. It's getting a very unnerving response to this video.
Andy Burnham was fined for driving at almost twice the speed limit. Even worse, he had the audacity to cut up Nicola Sturgeon, who was innocently pootling by in her brand new motorhome. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication the English Breakfast Society newsletter. This is a newsletter about the history and traditions surrounding the English breakfast. We start with woman breaks world record for widest what?
Widest range of excuses for missing £600,000.
Is it egg?
Widest egg?
What is egg?
You've got an English breakfast. You've got
Widest bacon strip, I don't know.
wide egg.
A wide egg.
If that's right, I'll walk to Scunthorpe and back.
It's actually woman breaks world record for widest wig.
Oh.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here it is.
Whoa!
Oh, that's Michael Fabricant.
According to the Metro, the wig is supported by a PVC pipe, cable ties and aluminium rods. So the hairpiece is secure, but her conservatory has fallen down. Next, government to what to help the climate crisis?
Consider making an effort.
Ignore everything.
To cut down on these wide eggs.
It's a massive head.
It's the chickens I feel sorry for.
Yeah.
Government to give cows anti-flatulence medication to help the climate crisis. The Daily Telegraph referred to compound feeds to reduce digestive gas. The Times chose to call them methane suppressants, while The Sun went with fart blockers. And finally, the English Breakfast Society asked that you stop what?
Crunching.
Yeah. Eating fruit salad.
Taking the piss out of their nice publication on your horrid panel show.
Exactly. It's about time somebody had the guts to say it.
Yeah.
The actual answer is the English Breakfast Society asked that you stop writing to us to say that we're wrong.
Whoa!
This is from the English Breakfast Society, who received complaints after claiming hash browns aren't part of a traditional English breakfast. They're adamant in their view, writing, "We here at the Society believe that frozen hash browns are used as a cheap breakfast plate filler, served by people who probably buy cheap imported bacon and sausages and who have probably never even heard of Bubble and Squeak. Calm down, you'll have a heart attack, just slightly sooner than you were going to anyway." Anyway, the final scores are Ian and Charlotte on a paltry 2.
Oh, that's... We got no points for about an hour.
Yeah.
You sort of slipped into a wide egg tailspin.
Yeah.
Whereas Paul and Miles have a superb 8.
I'd love to see the unedited version of this episode. It's a really good episode.
But before we go, there's just time for the caption competition.
Labour strategists agreeing on a firm new direction for the party.
According to the iPhone, the sea is definitely not behind us.
Here we go.
Oh,
Prince
whoa.
William prepares to greet Prince Harry.
On that note, we say thank you to our panellists, Ian Hislop and Charlotte Ivers,
He did
Paul
kick
Merton
me
and
up the
Miles
arse.
Jupp, and I leave you with news that on a trip to Kazakhstan, there's joy for Foreign Secretary James Cleverly as hotel staff tell him he's allowed to keep the dressing gown. In Saffron Walden, there are angry scenes on the delayed 8 a.m. train to London after one man sits in a priority seat and then refuses to move. And as he turns up for his annual prostate examination, Jeremy Corbyn is alarmed to see there's been a last-minute change of doctor.
Good luck, Jeremy.
Good night. But before we go, can I just ask the audience to please refrain from singing along to the theme tune? Thank you.
Daisy May
Oh.
Cooper does drama as a single mum trying
Rain
to write
Dogs?
herself a better life. Press red to watch Rain Dogs on iPlayer. A
Rain
derelict mansion
Hey!
and a shaman next tonight. An eerie mess for the cleaner in a moment.
I might have to look into that. That was a really good episode. I gotta say, I'd love to see like the unedited version of that, the full Charlie, if you will. Apparently, from what I've been told, Charlie's on this show pretty often. Apparently, he's a somewhat regular. So maybe I'll see more episodes with him in the future as well. But I mean, Paul and Ian, especially Paul, were on fire in this one. Both the guests were great. Everyone had really good chemistry. A lot of the news was funny. It's the first episode I've seen as well that has, you know, up to date now news. You know, usually I like watching older episodes because it's fun seeing what the news was at the time. But in this one, you know, I actually understand most of the context. So that's fun too. Great episode though, and I hope you enjoyed my second reaction to Have I Got News to You today. Have I Got News for You today? As always, leave suggestions in the comment section down below as to what episodes I should see in the future. That is it for me today though. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. If you didn't like it, don't. If you want to follow any of my social media links, my Twitch where I stream every single day, my second channel for recent reviews, my Twitter, if you want to follow me on my Patreon, if you want to support me on my daily mission, all things are in the video description down below, as well as the Twitch Files channel and the community Reddit. Thank you also to all my patrons who are named in the video description. If you didn't know, you can be a patron for me for as little as $1, £1. You get extra direction videos, as well as reading your comments up to a day early, sometimes more, and you get named in the video description as well. For all that being said, though, my name is Tafford. This has been my 7th reaction. Have I got news for you? And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.